And I'm hoping that a lot of our hoteliers will be upbeat and join us as we start on 2021. You know, we get up in the morning and we see our clients list. We actually have a few things lined up in our organization and how to reach our clients during this pandemic. And I think that is going to be useful if we share this information together.
Oh, definitely. And because we are looking forward to the ITB Berlin, the international conference in London, and IMEX Frankfurt that are upcoming, and they're all virtual events. We know that our clients like these ones, they will be presenting to meeting planners and to the travel agencies also with this kind of virtual site visit tool as visualizer that we see here. And I mean, I feel that our experiences will become slightly, you know, kind of more immersive and wholesome because we're able to really, you know, enjoy the property presentations in a different way, maximizing again our 15 or 20 minutes that we have in these quick, you know, speed meetings. Because before I just remember that, you know, sitting there and kind of skimming through, oh, not this picture, not that picture, oh, not this one. And then like scrolling, oh, here it is. And then you're like, whoa, what about the capacity charts? And then you're scrolling up again. Whereas here, you know, we're just click, here we have capacity chart. And, you know, if we really want to see what the property looks like, the actual room, like Burano here, we just jump into the room right away from that capacity chart. So no more scrolling in that sense. And, you know, I think these images are even nicer as well. And
Yeah.
this is making us more efficient when we are meeting with our clients, even now to talk about 2022 meetings. So we are recommending the location this way.
I agree, Anna. I think that during this short, well, long Christmas holiday, we have been reading a lot of industry reports. I mean, because we are on a neutral ground nowadays, we try to keep up with the pace. In fact, our organization is compiling a list of hotels that are opening or closing, and sometimes we can't keep track of everyone, like, you know, 300,000 hotels globally, for example. It's really hard to keep track of them. And so therefore, this is a way for us to really determine whether the hotel is in business and whether we can book with them. And so if you are a hotelier or hotel sales executive, it's really important to reach out to your clients and let them know that maybe you're open for a staycation, or some of the hotels, even in Florida and in Manila, Philippines, are just for COVID quarantine, but that's bringing actually their business. You know, I think it must have been one of the very luxurious property in Florida that I spoke with in IMEX that said, yeah, we are 100% fully booked. So that's amazing, isn't it?
I mean, it's wonderful. I mean, there are still places where it's booming. I just returned from the Scandinavian Lapland, and there were 15,000 people that came for the New Year. All the properties were fully booked. And also the same situation was at the Alps, you know, in the Austrian, Switzerland, and Germany. So some areas are doing actually better from the domestic travel. And, you know, there are ways to also boost that, you know, when people are really kind of getting, I would say, a bit short-sighted in a way that, you know, all these stresses from maybe unemployment or, you know, obviously mental health issues, and also the virus itself, you know, is affecting people. I mean, everybody's wanting to invest on that next trip a bit more, because, you know, when they're able to, or if they're able to go somewhere, the meaningfulness, you know, that really is becoming something that, you know, we are actually ticking off more of those bucket list boxes, I think, than ever before, you know, once we get to go. So this is the right time to grab the interest online. And what's even easier is to do all these kind of presentations where we have video and, you know, beautiful images, and it's easy to look at. I mean, this is also for leisure customers. I mean, this can be sitting on a booking.com as a presentation, you know, as a link just on the page. We're using it in the RFP channels, on the third-party channels, so that we get a more of a wholesome understanding of places. We have 360 as well, and that gives us more space to also dream about where we're going next. I mean, if we look at this one, I mean, we have in the the JW Marriott, sorry, we had previously the other property, but JW Marriott, you know, the infinity pool, straight views to San Marco, the cathedral over there where you can travel by boat. You're coming directly from the airport with the boat to this property, so avoiding all the you know, traffic and touristic areas in Venice itself. So it's quite isolated. So beautiful outdoor spaces, just what we're looking for.
Yeah, as you know, Anna, we are very neutral because we work for an organization that has partnerships with nearly all the players in the industry. But talking about Marriott, I, of course, have read, as you have, that they are conducting COVID testing on site. And this is very much a big step towards getting back in shape for meetings to return. And, you know, we have a very strong Marriott team here in the Nordics who is always assisting us. And we are looking as meeting planners to really book with those hotel sales that actually are in touch with us. As I mentioned to our organization, I sent a request for proposal for an event in November 2021. And I'm making sure that, yeah, it's being answered at the moment.
Oh, definitely. I mean, not everybody knows, you know, how venue finders work. You know, we are an organization with 1,400 people, you know, located in about 100 countries. And we do share a lot of information, but individually, we are still actively learning and looking at properties for our clients, even during these times, because events are always booked 12 months or 24 months ahead. Now it's definitely going to be 2021, which is, you know, not so busy, that we're just basically learning about the new ways of organizing social distancing events and safer events and which locations will be the possible ones. But on 22, I'm pretty, you know, positive and optimistic about the fact that we will return to live events by then. And comparing to 2019, when I booked about 80,000 room nights during that year. So if we can get anywhere near or even 10% of that, you know, it would be really a beautiful achievement. But we were diversifying, so we're looking at also industries that we normally didn't work with. So we're really expanding. There are certain industries that are healthier, doing better than others. So definitely, you know, keeping our eyes on, you know, which are activating. Tech companies are definitely quite innovative because they don't have to mingle so close together, you know, to work. So you can have quite an interesting events, e-games, etc., still organized in a space. I'm not talking about space as such, but in a large space. I mean, e-games is one sector that, you know, can focus and operate really well right now.
I agree. And I think, not to be humble, of course, Finland has been presented in the news articles to be leading in the dealing with the COVID situation. And we are, of course, very lucky to be based here in the Nordics, alongside places like Denmark. And, you know, there's a joke that it's because of the presidents that we have, that they're all women. You know, this is nothing to do with being gender based, but indeed there has been memes about it, that our very young female lady president has been really calm and controlled about how to approach the situation. And I think we are trying to get direction from our governments on how to really approach. And of course, Mrs. Merkel from Germany has also been lauded. And unfortunately, there is really the variant that we have seen lately. And therefore, this has forced even countries like the Philippines to implement 25 countries lockdown until the end of January. Let's say the mid of January. So
there are certain countries that we are where we stopped all the flights from, such as UK. Well, the situation getting worse there. So that's why, I mean, again, the optimistic view is that, you know, outdoor events can commence somewhere around summer. we see that at least our industry is not commencing with the live events before, before summer. So all the events that we know of have been cancelled so far that were supposed to take place this spring. And well, they were obviously with the reservation of if the COVID situation doesn't improve, we don't have the vaccination yet, in all the all the people that we wanted to obviously have it available for. So it's a bit slower process that we expected in Finland as well. We've received tens of thousands of vaccines, but they haven't been distributed. It's a quite slow process to get everybody actually vaccinated. So, and there's twofold also process. So, we don't know how long it takes really.
So as I was actually attending our organization's first catch up industry sharing, we have had a participant of 75 meeting planners and event organizers in this discussion from all over EMEA. And I think you, of course, Anna, has a leadership role there. So the main thing that actually we have gathered together in terms of vibes or how we feel are three top things that actually stood out. So each and everyone has to give a word in a wool clap on what do we feel right now? How do we feel? What is the most priority for even the first quarter of 2021? And of course, some of us answered like financial or even paying bills. But a lot of us, the majority of us actually answered relationship building and positivity and optimism and taking care of each other, not just our clients. And even some people offer love. So, these are really emotional times. But at the same time, the positivity and relationship building are the top characteristics that need to be developed during these times.
I'm completely with you on that one. And the focus is really in the soft values. Yes, we have the overhead costs and cost of business that we need to really take care of. And we also have diversified, again, our daily activities just to pay bills. But, the utmost importance is with our families and also the mental health, because changing so drastically, like everything has, become different. So just going to a grocery store or, trying to stay fit or, entertainment. We had to adapt in so many ways. And then what about the necessities that, having to go to dentist or anything that we just took for granted now requires a lot more effort to actually just, to get by or to get organized. So because, people are getting a bit tired also from working so much in front of a screen, humans give each other energy, like we get energy from each other. But when we are working online, it doesn't quite give it. But I've actually found some events that, like our own, end of the year expo where we went to, the virtual expo by our organization. I think that was a successful online event to actually, bring us together and feel that support that you talked about. And also, it was fun. I wasn't expecting so much to, enjoy as I did. And we had a virtual dance floor, but I was dancing at my home, just like going wild. Same way as we do, at IMEX or anywhere where we get together. So
true. I think that today I noticed in conversations with hotel sales that I have during the last, let's say, 8 months, they have actually not really been harnessing the potential of their platforms. Some of our visualizer users actually have not remembered because maybe of a change of guard. The hotel sales has not passed on the information that they already have a pre-existing virtual site solution that they can use. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll have one of those properties who we are, let's say, sharing knowledge or maybe even, let's say, training, that they could be really competent in presenting their virtual fam trips, we call it. In some industry, we call it virtual fam trips. Rather in the US, they call it that one. And here we just say visualizer site visit. But it's all one and the same. And I think we need to really look into solutions that we have, if we have very good videos and photos and images and COVID capacity charts, we should compile them together, put them in one place, and make sure that we could use it even during the
Well,
lockdown.
when you say put them in one place, put them on visualizer, because you can add everything in there. So whether it's the text, the PDF, the capacity charts, floor plans, the rooms we haven't even looked at yet. We have a lot of images of the restaurants. This is actually a very basic visualizer in the sense that we don't have the 360 panorama, the moving image in this one. But I mean, that's also, you can use any source that the existing material that is available and just have them just included in here. And what's really beautiful is also sharing, as we're building those relationships, is that here you can share directly to 181 sources. I mean, whether it's via emails, Hotmail, Gmail, doesn't matter, Outlook, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, which is now, I think, our main way of, I think, finding also new contacts is really LinkedIn, and then also those venue expos. And because the relationship building, as you said, is so important during this time, just also maintaining our contacts. I mean, online meetings have become a way to differentiate, and actually, I think to build prestige image also is dependent on what kind of tools the properties are using when they are presenting. And I do find that when they're using PowerPoint, it gives me a slightly outdated feeling of, the capacity or the ability that they have. Like, I'm actually booking, we're both booking tech events. I mean, and we want the high tech, atmosphere also to show through, that they understand, what kind of needs our clients have. But if they're presenting on a PowerPoint, it sometimes feels a bit like, well, there are better tools available. So, I mean, I don't want to dismiss the fact that we can't always invest on new tools, but this one is also not about money, because it's really the price of a one night at the executive room. I mean, the tool itself is very affordable.
Exactly. So I'm looking at the RFP I sent in November, and I'm thinking that if these hotels will actually present themselves in a cluster to the 3,000 expected delegates with their AVEC, I would say that they would even have, let's say, 5,000 people in a citywide event, being confident that they're landing in a destination that has COVID in place, really hygienic protocols in place, and the hotels are really up to date. And so, like if you travel like 1,000 kilometers away, you want to really see firsthand what you're going to land into, especially if you pay in advance, as usual with events like a year in advance. So I'm expecting that we will have this cluster citywide event in our visualizer site visit soon, communicating with them, and I'm getting their response, and I'm really hoping that they will join me in attracting more delegates to the event by presenting their properties in a very comprehensive, logical, sensible, and confident way.
I mean, that is exactly it. Having this tool, what we're looking at here, the solution, I just added it actually in the chat. So that's how easy it is to share. I mean, we're looking at it, but then also when we are at that meeting, or, when we're online on the Zoom meeting with our prospects or with our clients, we're just, passing it on, and they can then take a look on their own time and really compare those beautiful properties. And the properties that don't, or the hotels that don't have a digital brochure, that they're trying to, well, let's say, attach a PDF or something, they will actually look also a little bit weaker in that competition, when we start to compare, okay, what kind of properties and materials do we have? And I do have more confidence on properties that have like a bit more innovative ways of presenting online, because that feels like they're really caring about, staying up to date, and maybe they might technically also be more advanced when we have that event, because they'll be hybrid events. I mean, 90% of the events probably will maintain the hybrid element, because it's a beautiful way to scale up and affordable way to bring those that are in those red areas that they cannot travel, or maybe they are injured, or maybe they have another handicap that they can't travel. So now we can include all those people into the events with this hybrid element. And the venues who have these digital tools, they also maintain the image of being prepared for these type of events.
And the beauty of this is that you can actually change with the same links every page of the visualizer site visit, meaning if you have updated your capacity charts, or if you have added windows or doors or new furnishings to accommodate the present times, let's say for social distancing, and you can change a photo. And we have had our hotelier changing photos with his mobile phone camera. So it could be as easy as that. It can be really simple, and it doesn't need a really big investment unless you're looking at overhauling your entire presentation. But to come up with a solution that is agile or versatile, then this is the best way, really. It's a no-brainer.
That's right. I mean, again, with about €500 investment for a year to have this kind of property presentation, using all the existing photography and videos and PDFs as in room features. I mean, this is effectively a text that comes from the existing information or marketing material that the properties have. These photos, they've already been taken just recently, but there's no new photography needed. And then the meeting rooms, the capacity charts are built from the existing capacity chart. I mean, we are adding also the COVID capacity. I'm actually going to show another property which is not in Italy, but it's actually in Amsterdam, because here we have the 360 element. So when we are planning those meetings, we do look at certain details, also where the speakers are in this room, how the lighting works, projector that we can see over there. So, and then we look at the meeting room features on itself. We can see the different classroom shapes. We can also actually have virtual furniture placed in here. So by one click, it changes the layout, and we can move in and out. So this is Matterhorn 1+2. So we can go here, Matterhorn, look at the capacity chart, and then go back to the same room. So much easier than before.
I agree. And I noticed that Movenpick has been very successful in their visualizer site visit, and there has been a lot of interest and marketing impact on their social media, as I have checked lately. And it encourages a lot of their team members to really join in, share the presentation, making sure that, if their hotel sales colleague has 1,500 LinkedIn contacts, that they can get the message across that they're open, they're up for business, their lockdown has been over, or that they have masks in place, information that can actually be important and relevant to the attendees in the future. And we have had also hotels in Amsterdam with very innovative solutions like pack and go lunch. Some of our really big hotel chains have innovated in a way that encourage their loyal hotel fans to come and just get a lunch for the day. So those innovations can be presented in the visualizer site visit.
Yes, I mean, these are all materials that the hotels already had, and we just loaded them to this presentation tool. This is a sales and marketing tool, which works perfectly at online meetings and offline meetings, because I actually had about 4 years ago the first experience, and one of the reasons why I started using all these visualizers is that I was at one of those hosted buyer meetings at IMEX, and suddenly a property started showing me this kind of presentation, instead of PowerPoint or just with the iPad kind of going through. And I was like, wait a second, I mean, I can see a lot more here, because I always have questions about how the customer flow works, especially now with COVID. You want to know where do they come from, how do they basically move around the space. And suddenly I had this one, I was like, okay, so this is an easy way to check all all the important details that I need to know. And yeah, it really changed the life of location scouting, I think.
I think that's right. This is like a real life experience. One time I was doing site inspection in Mexico City, and the hotel sales say that this is an exceptional thing that I'm showing you this hotel lobby because look up, that's a very expensive painting, original artwork that the hotel owner would not want anyone to just walk into the hotel lobby. And like like a crowd of people doing site inspections. They're very selective. Hotel guests and hotel meeting planners are welcome, but not just about everyone. So how can actually delegates and attendees go to that particular hotel? So in terms of safety and security, it has got a lot to offer to have a virtual fam trip. And that's just my point. This is even pre-COVID experience.
Oh, that was, yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say post-COVID as well. We are still looking to get there. Also, it's always important to update after renovation all the images. And sometimes, when hotels, they invest on marketing material, then it becomes old and obsolete when the renovation happens. Whereas now with Visualizer, it takes seconds. We would have been able to change all of these images in a matter of time that we've been speaking to the new ones. So it's just instantly updating. And that's really something important as well, that the sustainability of that digital material and the investment that it keeps on giving, so it doesn't go old, is also important. And that's what we're looking at here, is something that is a very flexible, easily updated, and what's actually most important is we talked about the link here. This one goes on the website, so if the hotel wants to have the meeting spaces and leisure spaces there, such as Mövenpick has, or then just copy this link here. Once I've had it, let's say I get it from C-Event or Meeting Package or somewhere else, I see it and I copy it, and then I look at it a month later. If the hotel has added new photos, I will see them there. So the link updates itself. It's a live link. So again, no need to send me a new PDF or new brochure just because there were some changes. We can just look at the same link.
It's true. I think the reason why the hotels are actually co-hosting with us primarily is because they have something to offer and they have something to communicate. And I noticed also in the industry, in the social media, in the conversations that I had, the same names pop up, the same brands are actually very active. And this is kind of like generating the kind of buzz and vibe and the positivity that we are talking about. We need to get up on our feet and show up to this to the meeting as we speak virtually.
Definitely. I mean, and then showing up is really it's always been about showing up. I think throughout the history of doing business, as long as you show up, as long as you're there to be reached and talked to, and we can look at the property like this, things move forward, and there's always a possibility for business. But I mean, those that are sleeping, nowhere to be seen, nothing's happening, no improvement, I mean, they can't expect business during these times because the competition is fierce also for those fewer number of events that are taking place in properties. But actually we work also in the hybrid area and the virtual area, and we need studios, and we've had a lot of speakers actually booking hotel rooms to be in a very neutral space, nice space, to participate in a virtual event. So there are also these type of needs that we are accommodating now.
Yeah, indeed. From Manila to London to Amsterdam, I see a lot of these venues that MICE professionals are actually helping their clients convert to the digital version of their presentations. And you need a very good venue for that. You need to identify which hotels and which MICE venue actually has the facility, the loudspeaker, the equipment to actually carry out your mission.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's why images like these, you know, they really give us a lot of wealth of information. We don't need the daylight so much, you know, virtual events, because that can be, as you know, a hindrance and hazard. So also spaces without windows, they become now more popular, just for that reason that, you know, we can then control the lighting. And also having direct access to outdoor spaces like this one here, it's connecting to the terrace. We can then have that change of outdoor air, but we can see all these informations, you know, in this presentation very easily. So we see how the flow works, where the banners go, where's the stage, you know, how many light spots do we have there already? We can really move around the space. And I mean, this is the future. I'm happy it's already here. It's a way that I like working, and clients like looking at the venues this way. And it is a really strong and impactful way to sell.
Yeah, just to get back to that idea, I think one of the management gurus says the secret of success is to show up. And that's just to summarize what you said. But at the same time, you're quite right that the venues can really, yeah, create an impact just by showing their best assets. So there is not much preparation either, that you need a team of, you know, 5 marketing people or 5 PR people. We know that we have streamlined the workforce. We have had experience furlough, and we are of course empathizing, and we're very much sympathizing with our colleagues who have had to maybe to shift to another role, or maybe to take the role of 5 other people in the sales team. And that's why we are here to be a partner for you, to make sure that we can present the venue in the best light, in the, you know, most sustainable way that minimizes our time, your precious time that you have.
Definitely, and looking for partners all the time, looking for co-hosts. We're happy to present. As we say, we've covered, I think, 50 or so different locations already. And this year we're looking to carry on twice a week, 11 o'clock Central European time, Tuesday and Thursday. So it's a very standard, you know, way of presenting. So our meeting planners, they are aware of the timings, and they keep on coming back, you know, to see new destinations. So that consistency is also something that we are providing. We've been doing this now for 10 months, and with very amazing results, considering that, you know, you had 90 or so meeting planners in some occasions and averaging about 20 participants. And this is I would say, really you know, pleasant way of also connecting, because normally we also have panel conversations, so we get a lot of updates of the venue, COVID hygiene details, and like the way that the staff or the team is working, or how they're actually organizing their daily work at the moment. And, you know, we share a lot of our frustration also during these sessions. But then when we have a co-host that wants to present for a particular market, we bring those meeting planners on, and really, you know, enable that dialogue and communication to happen digitally.
I agree. And I think one thing that I wanted to point out is the difference between visualizer site visit and a YouTube video. So of course, we incorporate the videos, whether in Vimeo or another platform like YouTube, into the visualizer site visit, because we can control the interest of our audience. Meaning it, we suggest like a 10-minute video, but not like an extensive, you know, more than that, because in an interactive visualizer site visit, we do get a chance to know more and share share what we like and what we don't like, and to highlight those that we like.
And that's actually a good point. I mean, what we're showing during the webinar is only a fraction of the information, because then after the webinar, I mean, everybody has the link, so they can keep on watching those videos and go back to the meeting rooms or the rooms that they are maybe hoping to book, you know, maybe having a suite for a special day, you know, just for the family dinner, a nice restaurant. So again, that link, you know, will be shared to everybody, also on LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook. I mean, we share it in all channels so that as many people as possible are able to see that, that hotel or the venue that we're presenting. So it's not only the webinar. The reach is 59,000 people. Actually, what we looked at the statistics, we had actually, well, on some occasions we had December 20,000 people looking at our last webinar that we had. So afterwards, because we also have an on-demand webinar. So I think, it's just a fantastic way of working. Now we are about to wrap. So are we still live on Facebook? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, we are. So for those who are actually on Facebook and is watching this later, yeah, please welcome. And I think we have one or two very exciting hotels in the next few weeks. We can expect that they will be co-hosting with us, hopefully. And some of them actually have already their existing visualizer site visit. And it's a matter for us to encourage them to really participate in making their presence felt, that they are, alive and kicking. And so we are survivors in this pandemic. So we really need to keep our, our positivity on top of it. So that's my message. Thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you for everybody who is actively looking to also learn from the venues and find some ideas. We welcome you back on Thursday, and it'll be again Sheila and I, and also our co-host. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and see you soon.